told you that you're not behind schedule? What if I told you that it's just a made up fictitious narrative that you've been telling yourself repeatedly, which makes you believe that you're actually behind schedule when you are not? And so a lot of the times we truly believe in speed, or speed equating success, or we think that movement means productivity. I'm busy, therefore I'm productive. And that is not the case at all. Speed does not equal efficiency or productivity. It just simply means you're moving fast. But you can move fast and miss all of the components that would make something refined, extremely certified, and concrete for the people that you are servicing, or if that even means yourself. But we've created a society that have made us believe that speed somehow equates success, and that movement somehow equates productivity or being busy all the time, when that's actually not the case. And so when people adopt those ideas, they feel like they're behind schedule. Well, how can you be behind schedule if you're working a full shift, if you're raising children, if you have to go out and walk your dog, you might be taking care of a sick parent, you may have to intern somewhere for the career that you've chosen, you may have to take part in earning extra hours elsewhere if you're trying to obtain a financial goal of yours. The idea that life is a one size fits all is not the case, and women and men across the world are adopting new ways of doing things. The technological generation is here, beyond here, and so work looks different for everyone, and ways of being looks different for everyone, and productivity looks different for everyone. And so we won't want to pigeonhole ourselves into thinking that we're behind schedule and comparing your walk with someone else's walk, or comparing your life with someone else's life. Can I just encourage you that no, don't do it. Don't do it. Because it creates the idea on the inside of you that you're somehow missed your mark, and that what God has placed on the inside of you has now, been hijacked by an idea or another person that seems to be doing better. Not to mention, we got to be careful what we give our eyes and our gaze and our thoughts and our attention to, because comparison is the thief of joy. But even bigger than that, we assume that what we see is telling us the full picture and the full truth of something. We think that because a couple is glamorizing their relationship online, that means that they're madly in love. We think that because someone looks busy, that means that they're running an efficient and profitable business. We think that because someone looks fit, that they somehow have a really healthy nutritional intake of food on a day-to-day basis. And so we confuse our minds and our thought processes by what we see, and we think that what we see is the full picture and the truth. And then we adopt that thought, that mindset and that belief, and then we feel like we're behind schedule. But I'm here just to let you know that you're not behind schedule, to be quite honest with you. You just need a little bit of decluttering. You need a little bit of a renovation on the inside. And so let's think about a house, right? Your house, your apartment, whatever. Imagine if it was just hoarded. Have you guys ever seen the show, The Hoarder Show, where everyone is just, or those people are hoarding a lot of items and a lot of stuff? And we know that accumulation did not happen just one day, 1 month, 1 year. Oftentimes there are sections within their house that they have never even recognized or seen in a while, because they just can't get to that room. And they can't get to that room. Why? Because it's cluttered. There's literally a wall of clothes, books, and items and things that stop them from locating other parts of their house. And so it's kind of like your mind and your goals and your way of achieving in life. When you are cluttered on the inside and cluttered in your mindset, and over consuming and over analyzing and comparing yourself with others, you begin to believe that somehow you are behind schedule, when the truth is, anything that you desire and that you want, the minute you say that you want it, God is in agreement with you, right? People are like, oh, whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, if you say that you want to be much healthier, my deepest belief is that God is like, okay, let's be more healthier. If you say you want to earn more, okay, let's find ways for you to earn more. If you say you want to purchase a yacht, okay, let's purchase a yacht. Let's find ways that can happen. The stagnation and the resistance in our thoughts and our belief systems and our comparisons, or feeling like we're behind schedule and therefore sometimes self-sabotage, is what creates a resistance that delays us from attaining what we desire. And then we begin to justify it by saying things like, maybe God doesn't want me to have it, or maybe it wasn't meant for me, or it is what it is. Like, I don't know, I'm just being redirected. Yeah, in some cases you can say that. I understand that spirituality does not happen in a vacuum, and I do believe that there are miracles and situations that position us for our greatest and highest good. However, God is always in the business of blessing his children. The word says, I wish above all things that you are prosperous and that you be in good health. I wish above all things that you are prosperous and be in good health. That tells me that God is in the business of blessing. God is in the business of ensuring that you are moving to your highest and greatest optimal level and greatest good. God is in the business of assuring that you are healthy. And by healthy, we're not just talking about the physical body, but the mind as well. And so it's not enough to just simply sit back and feel like, I'm just trusting timing. Sometimes timing is just simply waiting on you. Sometimes God is waiting on you to move. And we've created this system of belief where it's like we can't align or be in agreement with what God says now. If this is what you say about me now, then I believe it. I believe that you want the best for me. I believe that you've called me to greatness. I believe that my times and the time that you've given me is in your hands, and you're working in sync with me to ensure that I get the desires of my heart, because it's in the word. But we've somehow separated the word from our daily practical life, and we believe that we're often waiting, when the truth is sometimes heaven itself is waiting on us to say, yes, I'm in agreement with this word and I'm going to move forward. So no, you are not behind schedule. You just simply need to declutter your mind so you can hear the right thoughts, so you can be in sync with the right spirit and the right energy, the Holy Spirit, and the energy that says, yes, go in this direction. And I call it Holy Spirit because that's my foundation, but you might call it something else. You might call it oneness. You might call it unity. You might call it alignment. That is okay. What I'm saying is, we don't make it a habit of believing what we read and what we see and what God says about us. And therefore, we automatically assume that we're behind schedule or things are not moving the way they should, when really it's just simply us activating that part on the inside of us that says, let me declutter my mind, get clear so that I know where I'm going. So it's not about just being busy, it's being productive. So it's not just about movement, but it's about steady momentum. So it's not just about going fast, but it's moving with faith and with intention about what we are here to do, what we're here to accomplish. I do believe that everybody has a special calling on their life. I do believe that we are all here to do something specific. I do believe that we are here to touch the lives of others and to create impact in our communities, and it not large scale, small scale, anything in between, right? It's not limited to what we think or desire. Sometimes there are things that just work miraculously and in ways that we like, whoa, I didn't see that coming, or I didn't think that that person would bless me, or I didn't think that I would be an impact to that person. But at your job, you have a place and an assignment to do, at your gym that you work out, when you're on the road, when you're at the supermarket, if you're faith-based organizations that you're associated with, whatever capacity, it's to be used for your greatest and highest good. And so we should really debunk the idea of being behind schedule, or feeling like we're not enough, or feeling like we're delayed, or feeling like it's not our time, when the truth is our time is here, it is now. And once we take ownership of it, and once we recognize that it is such a supernatural and powerful gift to be given, then we begin to utilize that time and manage it in such a deliberate way that we don't ever want to discount how critical and important it is for us to just have time on our sides, and the activities of our minds and our limbs and our ability to communicate and share our greatest version of ourselves. And so I just want to encourage you that if you are feeling stagnant and stuck, that you're not behind, that you just simply have a buildup that needs to be decluttered, and you want to just simply get still. I can't overemphasize the need of getting still, journaling, really putting pen to paper, the things that are in your mind, the beliefs and the systems that you have, what's working, what's not working. And that requires a real live confrontation with yourself, and a gentle confrontation, not one that is resistance and egotistical and meant to be negative and induce negative feelings, but one that just simply says, wow, I'm not using my time wisely, or wow, I'm not using my gifts wisely, or wow, I'm not using my resources wisely. Wow, I keep going there, and really, I don't want to do that. This is really what I want to do, and being honest with ourselves about that. And so my greatest encouragement to you is to debunk the thought process that you are somehow behind schedule, because all of us are on a specific and sacred timeline. And yes, it doesn't mean be passive and just sort of sit back with no idea of how to use your time and to waste it and procrastinate and things will happen on their time. I'm not saying don't go with the flow. I'm saying just create systems as you go with the flow. Create intention as you go with the flow. Create accuracy and refinement as you go with the flow. Organize how you're using your time and your energy and your resources as you go with the flow. It is just as critical than just simply going with the flow. So you're not behind schedule. You're exactly where you need to be. And if you're going to start the year in any way, then now would be the time to sort of activate the inner need to just declutter, get still. And once you get still, your next step is the one that feels the most inspired and clear to you. If you say, I want to write a children's book, then it's not, let me write a children's book right now because I'm running out of time. That is not the energy you want to move with. You want to get still, entertain some of the thoughts that come with it. Begin to pen some ideas. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this. I think this would be great. I think this would be great. And then begin to move in that direction. You know what? Beginning next week, I'm just going to write a chapter. Or if not a chapter, I'm just going to write 5 pages. Next day, 5 more pages. This is just such an example, but you might figure out your own rhythm and your own momentum. Nothing starts until something starts. And so get clear, declutter that mind, get still, detach for a second so you can hear clearly, and then begin to produce from a place of genuine, full-hearted faith and belief in your ability to do what you've been called to do. I hope that message was helpful for you. I spoke in my previous videos that I am working on creating just a guide that will help you declutter your mind, optimize your time, and get to the bottom line. And so I just want to encourage you to stay in the race and stay focused and give yourself a lot of love and a lot of encouragement at this time. Specifically now in the new year, as we still plant seeds so that when spring comes, we can see the fruits and benefits of those seeds. Tune in again, like and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.